Hey, Golden State Warriors fans. We are diving straight into the latest updates surrounding your favorite team. And believe me, there's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with Jonathan Kuminga, who has been at the center of trade discussions for weeks. Recent reports indicate that his trade value might be slipping, largely due to limited playing time and some strategic decisions from the coaching staff. Kuminga is under contract for $21 million, which makes him highly tradable on paper, but he has barely seen meaningful minutes this season under Steve Kerr. Naturally, when a player isn't getting time on the court, other teams start to question the value they're getting. Some insiders close to the organization have suggested that the Warriors might even consider keeping Kuminga past the trade deadline if no offers meet their expectations. On the surface, it seems like a cautious approach, but it's also a risky move. A player of Kuminga's caliber, making over $22 million, is currently sitting on the bench more often than not, and fans in San Francisco are certainly feeling the frustration. If this situation doesn't resolve soon, it could lead to an uproar among the fan base, given that this is a player once considered central to the team's future. It's worth noting that the Warriors' approach might also be a negotiating tactic. By signaling a willingness to retain Kuminga, they could be trying to drive up trade interest and get a better return. There have been teams reportedly interested, such as the Sacramento Kings and Chicago Bulls, with interest dating back to the offseason, though nothing materialized then. More recently, the Dallas Mavericks and Portland Trail Blazers have been mentioned in trade talks, but with the varying levels of talent teams would need to give up, it remains unclear if any deal is feasible. Even teams like the New Orleans Pelicans have shown curiosity, but whether they are willing to part with key players is another question entirely. Looking at Kuminga's performance metrics, there are reasons for concern. Shooting efficiency, especially from mid-range and at the rim, has not been consistent with what teams might expect from a top 10 draft pick. While he shows flashes of potential, there's a growing sentiment that he isn't providing the offensive efficiency necessary to command a significant trade return. Observers point to his percentages from three-point range and finishing at the rim as evidence that, at this point, he may not be ready to be a major contributor for another team, at least not without some adjustments in his game. Amid all this trade speculation, the Warriors have had to manage other pressing matters. Anthony Davis rumors, for instance, continue to swirl despite questions about financial feasibility and team fit. A trade for Davis would involve significant salary cap complications, and while his talent is undeniable, there are legitimate concerns about his health and the number of games he might miss. For a team already juggling minutes for aging stars like Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, adding Davis into the mix could be a double-edged sword rather than a guaranteed upgrade. Meanwhile, Draymond Green remains untouchable in Golden State's plans, but realistically, who would even take him on without substantial hesitation? His role, skill set, and occasional volatility make him a difficult trade asset, even if he continues to produce high-level defense and facilitate play. Switching focus to recent performances, the Warriors have shown flashes of brilliance on the court, particularly in their matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks. The team shot well from deep, hitting 18 three-pointers on 38% shooting, and managed to limit turnovers to 9, which is an exceptional performance in today's NBA. Team basketball was on full display, with 31 assists on 44 made baskets, showing a selfless approach and intelligent shot selection. Steph Curry was phenomenal in this game, scoring 31 points with 6 rebounds and 7 assists, while committing only 1 turnover. His efficiency and command on the floor demonstrated that, when healthy, he is still among the elite in the league. D'Anthony Melton has started to find his rhythm as well, contributing 22 points with excellent shooting efficiency and creating opportunities through both offense and defense. His energy and confidence are evident, and he has begun to carve out a reliable role off the bench, becoming a vital part of the rotation. Al Horford also had a standout performance, showcasing his ability to compete against bigger and more athletic teams. With 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks, Horford was active on both ends of the court, making every minute count and proving that his veteran presence can still have a significant impact in crucial matchups. Jimmy Butler played a solid, if not spectacular, game, contributing through free throw attempts, crashing the offensive glass and drawing fouls on key opposition players. His effort was balanced, supporting the team without taking over the spotlight. Draymond Green continues to impress with his assist-to-turnover ratio, creating opportunities and controlling the pace of the game. Gus Santos also made a noticeable impact, providing energy, smart passing, and defensive awareness, even if not all of his contributions show up on the stat sheet. His ability to read the floor and make high IQ plays makes him a valuable asset in rotations moving forward. While the Warriors are performing well in certain games, it remains clear that trade discussions and roster management will be ongoing challenges. Kuminga's situation, combined with potential acquisitions and rotations for players like D'Anthony Mellon, Horford, and Santos, means that the team must continue to adapt and make calculated decisions. The balance between maintaining core contributors, maximizing trade value, and building for the future is delicate, and fans are watching closely to see how each move will impact the championship aspirations of this storied franchise. Continuing with the Golden State Warriors season, it's impossible not to highlight the growth and emergence of some of the younger players who are starting to make a real impact. Gus Santos, for example, has been quietly stealing the spotlight in key moments. While he may not lead the team in scoring, his awareness on both ends of the floor, timely passes, and defensive contributions make him an invaluable piece. In the recent game against Milwaukee, his hustle and court vision created several scoring opportunities for the starters, and his energy seems to set a tone for the entire squad whenever he's on the floor. It's clear that Steve Kerr recognizes this, giving him extended minutes early in games, which is something fans have been asking for since the Clippers matchup. Meanwhile, the backcourt dynamics are starting to stabilize. Steph Curry continues to show why he remains one of the top players in the league, displaying a combination of scoring, playmaking, and leadership that few can match. 31 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds with minimal turnovers in a single game is the kind of performance that elevates the team on both ends of the court. While his three-point percentage in some games fluctuates, his ability to create for himself and others ensures that defenses remain honest and the offense flows. Supporting Steph is D'Anthony Mellon, who is beginning to find consistency in his shooting and defensive rotations. He's contributing around 20 points per game when given the chance, and his defensive hustle is generating extra possessions that the Warriors desperately need in tight matchups. Al Horford's recent performances have also reminded fans of the value of a seasoned veteran. Going up against larger, athletic opponents like Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks frontcourt, Horford showcased his ability to grab rebounds, contest shots, and even stretch the floor with his occasional three-pointer. He's averaging double-digit rebounds and providing high IQ plays, particularly in late-game situations where decision-making is critical. While he won't be the centerpiece of the offense, his contributions are subtle yet extremely impactful, allowing the Warriors' stars to operate more freely. Jimmy Butler has remained a consistent presence, particularly in drawing fouls and controlling the paint when needed. While his efficiency can fluctuate, his leadership and willingness to attack the rim keep opponents honest. Additionally, his defensive work, especially in pick-and-roll situations, helps mask some of the inconsistencies of the younger roster members. His ability to balance scoring with facilitating ball movement allows the Warriors to run a more cohesive offense, particularly when they face teams with strong interior defenders. The trade discussions surrounding Kuminga continue to linger, creating a sense of urgency for the front office. Teams interested in acquiring him have to weigh his potential against the reality of inconsistent performances and limited offensive efficiency. The Warriors' reluctance to fully commit to a trade, instead signaling that they might keep him, adds another layer of complexity. It's both a negotiating tactic and a reflection of the uncertainty about whether he can truly fit as a primary contributor elsewhere. Meanwhile, teams like the Sacramento Kings, Chicago Bulls, Dallas Mavericks, and Portland Trail Blazers are watching closely, evaluating whether acquiring him is worth parting with established players or draft assets. Anthony Davis rumors, though still floating in the background, appear increasingly unrealistic given the financial constraints and the already present injury risks. While Davis is undeniably talented, his presence would not automatically translate into better results due to potential missed games and the need to adjust the rotation around multiple stars. The Warriors' management must weigh the immediate allure of a big-name acquisition against the long-term health and chemistry of the team, particularly when integrating someone who may miss significant stretches. Draymond Green remains untouchable, but the reality is that trading or acquiring players around him requires careful planning. Green's defensive impact and playmaking are unmatched, yet his offensive limitations mean that any potential trade partner must see a very specific role for him, limiting options significantly. In terms of team performance, Golden State has been showing glimpses of elite basketball when rotations click and the ball moves freely. The Bucks game highlighted the importance of minimizing turnovers, executing smart passing, and maintaining high basketball IQ across the roster. With 31 assists on 44 made baskets, it was evident that the team thrives when passing up contested shots for high-quality scoring opportunities. Maintaining this level of teamwork is critical, especially as the trade deadline approaches and roster uncertainty may affect morale. The emergence of reliable bench contributors like D'Anthony Melton and Gus Santos cannot be understated. Their ability to relieve pressure on the starters, contribute on both ends, and maintain energy when the team's top players rest is essential for sustaining competitive play throughout the season. In addition, Horford's veteran stability and Jimmy Butler's consistent presence allow the Warriors to manage key minutes without significant drop-offs in performance. This balance between youth, experience, and star power will be pivotal as the season progresses and as potential trades or rotations are considered. Steve Kerr's coaching decisions remain central to the Warriors' strategy, particularly in managing playing time, integrating young talent, and adjusting matchups against elite competition. His ability to balance the minutes of rising stars, seasoned veterans, and established stars like Curry and Butler will determine whether the team can remain competitive in a league where depth and flexibility are critical. Early rotations for players like Gus Santos and D'Anthony Melton indicate a willingness to experiment, but maintaining chemistry and efficiency remains a delicate process. As trade talks continue to dominate headlines, fans are left speculating about the future. Will Jonathan Kuminga find a new home, or will the Warriors opt to retain him and adjust his role internally? How will the team integrate contributions from players like Gus Santos, D'Anthony Melton, and Horford, while keeping stars like Curry and Butler performing at elite levels? These questions are crucial as Golden State navigates the middle of the season, balancing playoff aspirations with roster management. Every decision, from trades to rotations, has implications on both the court and in the locker room. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Shockwaves are rippling through the NBA as whispers from the Golden State front office have turned into what appears to be a seismic reality. Kevin Durant is reportedly closing in on a deal with the Warriors. The mere suggestion of Durant returning to the Bay Area, or at least joining forces with a team already loaded with star power, has sent Eastern Conference fans into a frenzy, with social media platforms erupting in disbelief, speculation, and a fair share of panic. The Warriors, it seems, have once again proven that when it comes to navigating the market, they play a game that most franchises can only watch from the sidelines. Sources hint that the negotiation process has been swift, almost surgical in its execution, leaving analysts to wonder how Golden State continues to maneuver the league's complex financial landscape with such precision. Durant, known for his ability to tilt a series on his own, would instantly become the centerpiece of a roster already stacked with championship pedigree. The implications are staggering. Rival teams in the East are reportedly reassessing their strategies, trying to anticipate how a supercharged Warriors squad could reshape playoff dynamics before it even sets foot on the court. The rumor alone has already affected fan sentiment, with forums and comment sections filled with incredulity, memes, and heated debates about loyalty, competitive balance, and the very essence of modern NBA superteams. While nothing is confirmed, the mere possibility of Durant joining forces with a franchise famous for its high-powered offense and unyielding defense has reignited conversations about dynasty potential, market dominance, and the lengths a team can go to secure elite talent. Golden State, it seems, is once again rewriting the playbook, daring anyone to challenge their blueprint. If this speculation comes to fruition, the ripple effects could redefine the Eastern Conference's approach to roster construction, forcing teams to make bold moves in response. The intrigue is palpable, the stakes monumental, and the NBA world is holding its breath. Could Durant and the Warriors be on the verge of forming a combination so potent that it changes the league's balance of power? For now, fans are left to imagine the possibilities, and the Eastern Conference may never look at its own roster the same way again. Stay updated exclusively with the latest DubNation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.